everyone. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you all how I created this cozy little makeup look. I wanted to create a look for you guys that just has that warmth to it, that cozy quality, both in how it looks, but also how it feels on the skin. This look feels comfortable on the skin, so you could just plop your head into a pillow and be out for the rest of the day. But it also has that little festive sparkle to it as well. I also wanted to mention that this portion of the video is sponsored by Ana Luisa, so thank you so much to Ana Luisa. I'm sure some of you have heard of them, but they are a jewelry brand that creates just some really, really beautiful pieces. I was pretty excited when they reached out because every single piece of jewelry on their website I could imagine wearing. Super, super chic styles. And I've been wearing these Abbey hoops for, I think, like the last couple of weeks, and I just don't want to take them off. They go with everything. They're super classic, so they're going to go with a lot of different outfits, a lot of different makeup looks. I tend to be someone that prefers a little bit more of a clean, minimal, classic sort of jewelry piece. So if you're like me, I think you will definitely like what they offer. I also have these Rocks minis, which are these little huggy hoops. These are really, really beautiful hoops. These are a really pretty unique shape, and they're also really nice because you could put them in the second or the first hole. Definitely a perfect pair of earrings for like a minimal jewelry lover. And I also really, really enjoy these huggies, the cruise huggies from Ana Luisa, because they just have that touch of glamour to them, but they're still very minimal. So I think these would also be really perfect for like the holidays. Perfect to just add that little touch of glamour. I really enjoy the jewelry for a few different reasons. One, obviously I like the styles, but two, just because you like the style of a certain jewelry piece doesn't mean that the quality is going to be there, but the quality is definitely there. All of these are made with 14 karat gold plating. I really appreciate that because I feel like it's hard to find good quality jewelry that is also at a fair price, and I feel like all of their pieces are at a fair price. They are also completely carbon neutral, which means they offset 100% of the carbon that they put out into the world. So I really love that about the brand as well. So if you guys are interested in any of these pieces, I will have all the information and link down below for you guys, and also a coupon code in case you want to purchase. Thank you again to Ana Luisa, and if you guys are excited about today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and let's just get on into this cozy makeup look. Oh, and also make sure to subscribe if you're new and you haven't already. All right, now let's jump in. Okay, let's just set the mood, shall we? A little bit of Replica by the fireplace. I have talked about this before, but if you want like the coziest chestnuts roasting by an open fire sort of smell to incorporate into your perfume collection, this is certainly it. You guys don't know this, but this room that I film in is so tiny that I don't really have much room whatsoever. Like, my mobility in this area is not great. So basically I got the perfume on this side of my body. So if this side looks more cozy than the other side by the end of this, you know why. So now that we're all cozied up, I'm going to do some skin prep. This is the Kiehls Ultra Facial Cream. With cozy makeup, I want my skin to feel comforted, and I don't want to be using any primers or foundation products that don't make my skin feel good. This really is like a big blanket of moisture and hydration when you apply it onto your skin. If you really want to get into the cozy spirit, you could take some extra time to kind of do like a little facial massage. I always take the excess on the back of my hands. I have been definitely noticing the crackly hands coming back. I did not miss that for, the last 6 months, but now they're coming back. You could also use kind of like a soothing spray before you apply a moisturizer. I'm a really big fan of this one from Tower 28. It's the Daily Rescue Facial Mist. This is really good if you have extra sensitive skin. It's really good at kind of like giving you like a breather for your skin. I put on a little bit of lip balm. This is the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm. You know, what's the point of a cozy makeup look if it looks cozy, but it doesn't actually feel cozy on your skin? You know, that's the way I look at it. Talking about skin, I think that one of the best ways to complete a makeup look that feels really cozy and nice on the skin is skipping foundation if possible. So what I'm doing today is I'm using my Maybelline Fit Me, super affordable, holy grail concealer for me, and I'm just using it all over that any area where I feel like I need coverage. So always under the eyes, because I always need coverage there, and really just anywhere else I get redness. So on my nose, and you know, if you have any spots, feel free to cover them as well. But you know, I don't need any coverage around here, so why put makeup there? Going with a really minimal, just concealer base, I think is a really good way of feeling a little bit more cozy. You're letting your skin breathe a little bit. Your skin deserves that. I'm using a beauty blender, and I'm actually gonna get it a touch wet with this mist from Tower 28. Just a touch, and this will really add some more hydration into the skin. And then I'm just going to start blending those edges. I also really love this concealer too, because when everything is all blended in, you can't tell where the product starts and stops, even though you aren't applying it completely all over the skin. That is something that a lot of people are like, I could never do that because, you know, some areas would look concealed and others wouldn't. It's really about finding the right formula, either going with a buildable formula or making sure that you can really sheer out the product, because some concealers don't like to sheer out, or they don't sheer out very easily. So something like Tarte Shape Tape is a lot harder to sheer out on the skin because of the texture. It really does look very skin-like on the skin, and I like it because it doesn't feel like a lot of product on the skin. And it's also just one product, so that makes it quick as well. So I'm just jumping on into bronzer. I'm using my Fenty Matchstix in the shade Mocha, and I really like this one because it also feels really lightweight, but it's going to really warm up our skin and give us some shape and dimension, while again still looking like skin. This is my e.l.f. stipple brush. It's the small stipple brush, and guys, this is such a good investment, and an investment that literally costs, I think, around $3. Highly recommend this for cream products, especially cream blush and bronzer. You can see everything looks really seamless, but we just have that veil of definition now. And what I also like to do is, again, take the same sponge, and in any spots you really want to make sure that everything is blended out. You probably still have a little bit of concealer. Just go over those spots, just so you can make sure that everything looks as seamless as possible. And next, on to blush. I think this is one of like the coziest blush products that I have, and it is from Rare Beauty. It is the shade Love. It's this really beautiful brick color, and it looks way more intimidating than it actually is. You'll see in a second how easily it blends out. Looks so seamless when you blend it out. It definitely brings some warmth to this look that I think a lot of us really like with a more cozy look. I like this look because it's not super warm tone. It's definitely, you know, toned down a little bit. I just find that this blush is such a unique warm color. You know, there are plenty of warm peachy colors. That is a pretty predictable blush color, but when you blend out this color, I just feel like this shade in particular, the shade Love, gives you such a unique sort of flush, but also super approachable. So I really am a huge fan of that color. That is one of the matte formulas as well. So you can see that it is on the matte side, but it's not a flat matte whatsoever. It still looks very skin-like. Only good things to say about this blush. But next, let's go on into a little bit of highlight. So I'm going to be using the Revlon Skinlights in the shade 300. This is a recommendation from Daisy Cash. She really loves this, and I really like it because it sets down. So if you are looking for a liquid highlight that just gives your skin such a beautiful beam and glossiness but sets down, then I think you will really like this. I think this is a really approachable sort of liquid cream highlight if you are just used to using powder highlights, because this one gives you that glossiness that you like, but it's just so easy to work with and it kind of sets down the way a powder would. It doesn't completely set down to powder finish, but it does set down. You know, thinking about cozy makeup to me isn't just about what looks cozy, but it definitely is about what feels cozy on the skin. For me, it's really about letting the skin breathe and not being afraid to, you know, stuff your head into a pillow and take a nap with your dogs. Which, you know, we should take a quick break, and I'm just gonna insert a bunch of cozy footage of my dogs. Wasn't that nice? I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. And next, getting on into the eyes. I'm going to be using the glitter pigment from Bodyography, and this is the shade Stellar. It's a very, very beautiful sort of coppery, warm-toned glitter pigment. And I have been getting so many questions about the Bodyography pigments, so I did pick up a few, and I've been trying them out. I think one thing that makes these pigments different than some of the other pigments that I've tried is that they're not as densely packed. They're quite loose, so you get a lot of payoff right away. You guys can see. I mean, it's so gorgeous. I really, really like this color. But it's also something that you have to keep in mind. You know, it's easy to go overboard really fast if you're just like, ooh, shiny. So you do have to keep that in mind. But all of that being said, it's so easy to just tap them on the lids and get that really pretty foiled look. These definitely have more visible glitter than some of the other pigments that I've tried out. I actually really like that about it. So what I'm doing is just putting this on the outer half of my eye, and I always like to do this, one, because of my eye shape. I have pretty deep set eyes, so I find if I take a shadow all the way in, it can kind of close off my eyes a little bit and make them look even more deep set. So I always like to do this with my shadow looks. And I'm just going to take a brush and kind of pat that inner area so that there's a nice blend. I'll kind of pat there, and then once we're up into the crease area, I'll just wiggle it all around. This is a really quick and easy look that just gives your eyes a very, very pretty sparkle. I think upon first glance, this color looks a little bit predictable, but I like it because it has even like a touch of rosiness to it that I think gives it a little bit more dimension. I really, really like it. And by the way, this is the color Stellar. So now what I want to do is do a little bit of a winged liner. I'm using the Cosmetics Illustrative eyeliner in the shade Brown. Just a touch of liner on the outer corner. I'm not going to take it all the way in. I'm just going to focus it on the outer corner. So you can see there I'm only adding it to the outer half of my eye, and it's gonna look a little bit weird at first, but once you add mascara, it's really gonna blend that, so you're not really gonna be able to see. I like how that just gives a touch of definition to the outer corners, but now I'm going to go in with my Love Spell shadow from Rituelle. This is another just absolutely beautiful, beautiful shadow. And I'm just taking it on my Sephora Pro 18 shadow brush. I get a lot of questions about like my favorite eye brushes to use. I really like the ones from Real Techniques. But if you were to invest in one eyeshadow brush, especially for cream shadow, I highly, highly, highly recommend this one. So I'm just going to pat that a little bit over that shadow, and you'll see that this is just going to deepen everything. You can see that it kind of just fades everything and softens it a little bit. I'm also just taking a little bit onto the lower lash line as well. If you didn't want anything too sparkly, you could just use this shadow from Rituelle. I have talked quite a lot about these on my channel, but I really do think that they're such a beautiful, unique formula. So if you're not interested in something that's too glittery looking, I definitely recommend going in with just the Love Spell shade. It blends perfectly and it'll give you a similar look, just a little bit more toned down. And I'm again just going to take a fluffy brush and just blend out all those edges. I really like how cozy and like lived in this makeup looks. Just reminds me of like taking a nap by the fire sort of eye look. I really enjoy it. But we need to complete it with a bit of mascara. So I'm first going to curl my lashes. This is the Kevyn Aucoin eyelash curler. If you have no idea what to get for someone that, you know, feels like they have everything, like makeup wearer in your life, try getting them a luxe eyelash curler, because that's something that a lot of people don't think about, but it just makes such a huge difference. And now I'm going in with my Roen Cake Mascara. This is a really beautiful mascara, really angelic lash look. This just makes the lashes look so long and fluttery, but you can see it still frames the eyes in a really beautiful way. I think that's because the product is so black. It's a very black mascara. I really think that this is one of the most underrated mascara formulas. I, for some reason, just don't hear a lot of people talking about this mascara, and I can't imagine why. I just think that it's such a beautiful formula. You could take some onto the lower lash line as well. I don't like to put my mascara all along the lower lash line because I feel like sometimes it can make my under eyes a little darker, and being someone with already pretty dark under eyes, I don't like to do that. But what I do like to do is take just the tip of the mascara and I make sure that there isn't a lot of excess product there, and you know, you really have to make sure that that's the case because mascara as a whole tends to collect on the top. Is that so bizarre? In Baltimore, you never hear planes, you always just hear helicopters. I'm just taking a little bit onto the outer corner of the eye. And if you get a little bit of smudging, I just think it kind of adds to the effect, so I wouldn't worry about it. All right, I really like the way that things are going. So now I'm going to do the brows. This is my Brow Wiz in medium brown. I can't find my soft brown, or else I would probably use soft brown instead because I want the brows to look a little bit softer. But what I'm doing is just filling in the sparse areas because the eyes are already pretty dramatic. I know we all have a favorite brow, but I have a very complicated relationship with which brow I like more, because personally I like this one on its own more. But I don't like doing this brow as much because I feel like it's easier for me to go overboard because it doesn't need a lot of help. But I like this brow more to do because I think it's just easier to fill in, but on its own, I like the other one more. So again, we didn't put too much product in them, and I'm just going to set them with a clear brow gel. This is the Cosmetics Flexibrow, and if you are a fan of a fluffy brow, but you prefer not to use like a pomade product, this is a very good clear brow gel. It's not hairspray-y or really sticky in the brow. You can see how just like fluffs everything up. And now all we have is the lips. So a lip product that I think of when I think of a cozy lip product is this one from Dior. It is the Stellar Shine lipstick, and this is the shade 649. So I'm hoping that this is going to look good with the makeup look that we have going on. I think it's really pretty because it has that sort of red undertone that I think is really festive, but it just glides on the lips and just feels so nourishing. It really feels more like a lip balm than it does a pigmented lip product. Oh yes, I feel so much better. I think that this actually goes really well with the eyes. Do you see how that just like glides on the lips? Absolutely zero tugging. It's really nice because it's very buttery and nourishing, but it's also thinner, but not uncomfortably thin that you would think it would get everywhere and kind of seep out of the lip lines. I think that looks really good and it feels really good on my lips. My lips feel nice and hydrated. Honestly, I feel like This feels more nourishing and hydrating on my lips than some of the lip balms that I own. I'm a big fan of Dior lip products. They're expensive, but you definitely get what you pay for. All right, everyone, so this was my cozy makeup look. I really, really like this look because it doesn't even really feel like a lot of makeup on the skin, but it definitely gets me in that sort of festive, cozy mood for sure. Thank you again to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. If you guys are interested in their jewelry, I will again have all the information down below for you guys and the discount code. If you guys did enjoy today's video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you like me, I would also love to have you back on my channel, so make sure to subscribe as well. And I will see you in my next one.